kerajaan memutuskan untuk melaksanakan Perintah Kawalan Pergerakan.
So now, we are experiencing Movement Control Order or MCO since 18th of March 2020. And I'm sure many of us have seen how hard our police officers, soldiers, nurses, firefighters, doctors, or even volunteers work out there. What more inspiring is how united us as Malaysians by helping each other during this crucial time, and help the frontliners by stay at home and help flatten the curve. The question raised is, if everyone stays at home, what is going to happen? That is why my team and I created this video to discuss in general and casual what are the impacts of COVID-19 on our country.
For the international relation between nations, China helping Malaysia by sending senior medical experts to Malaysia to facilitate efforts to combat COVID-19 pandemic here. On April 14, Malaysia will share its finding experts and scientists from Asian and plus 3 partners, which is China, Japan and South Korea, to join pursue efforts in search of vaccine for COVID-19, said the Prime Minister Tan Sri Muhyiddin Yassin. Next, on April 23rd, the government confirmed that is in talk with 2 companies from China that are developing a vaccine against COVID-19 to have clinical trials done in Malaysia. As the COVID-19 pandemic rages and governments step up protection measures, pharmaceutical companies and research labs around the world are working at full tilt.
All tourists and foreign visitors are prohibited from entering Malaysia, as many countries have imposed restrictions for citizens from travelling abroad. This leads to a negative economic impact in tourism. The purpose of airport and transportation constrained only for essential business. All tourist attractions around Malaysia, including National Park, National Arts Gallery and Sunway Lagoon theme park, also closed to the public. Apart the closure of tourist attraction places during MCO, business premises ordered to be closed temporarily. MCO has resulted in shuttering vehicle plants, car showrooms and service centre for Produa, Toyota, Honda and others. Based on statistics, sales plunged by almost 60% in March with no production of new vehicle and 0 vehicle sales have been reported for April.
One of the positive impact on economic sector is this pandemic has increased the popularity of our gig economy. This economic segment has benefited various industry players which have long ventured into the digital service platform like Amazon, Shopee, Lazada as well as Grab, Foodpanda and Lalamove services. Now, more industry players are working hard to develop their own digital platform to fulfill the spike in demand from consumers, especially on food and merchandise delivery platform. Another industry that positively affected in this time is media and entertainment industries. According to data tabulated by Asian Digital Association (MDA), there was increasing demand for entertainment. Based on reports released by MDA, Netflix, Dim Sum, View, and our local online streaming services from Media Prima Berhad, Tonton have significant increase in online content streaming. Media Prima Digital also say that MCOs has contributed to an increase in Malaysian consumption of Media Prima content on YouTube for both entertainment and news content.
Another major sector that was heavily affected during this pandemic was the educational sector. A few weeks after the Movement Control Order was established, face-to-face sessions have been replaced with online classes and assessments using platforms such as Zoom, Google Meet, WhatsApp, and many others. Although this is a step forward in some aspects, problems start to arise for those living in rural or remote areas where they had limited to no stable network connectivity. It's a different story for school students, especially for those taking public examination this year. The government has decided to cancel PT3 and UPSR, and for SPM and STPM, they'll be postponed to the first quarter of 2021. SPM and STPM were not cancelled as they are important for students to further their studies or as a basis for job qualifications.
In the case of environmental impacts during this pandemic, there are several that can be clearly observed during this time. Alright, let's see on the positive side. Ever since the start of MCO, it can be seen that certain type of pollution is reduced. For example, the air and the river quality has been improved ever since the businesses and the factories are ordered to close and stop their production. Furthermore, the sound pollution has also decreased as there are fewer vehicles on the road and no ongoing construction is allowed during the MCO. This pandemic and MCO also had some negative effect on the environment, such as increase in household waste. Since people cannot go out during this MCO, they are more frequent in ordering food through the delivery services such as Grab and Foodpanda rather than making their own meals, as well as doing more online shopping, which directly causes increase in household waste due to the packaging.
So lockdown were strictly imposed by the government worldwide to contain the escalated coronavirus pandemic. However, this restriction of movement has affected people immensely, impacted every area of someone's life. Hence, the rates of domestic violence have been spiked up, particularly among the marginalized populations. People of all genders may have experienced this kind of abuse, but based on studies made before the pandemic indicate that it disproportionately affects women and children. The Ministry's Talian Kasih hotline had seen a 57% increase from women in distress up to March 26. We know that the victims are at greater risk because they are trapped in the house all day with their abusers. It is dangerous for them to even seek help because the abusers may be monitoring their every move. During this crisis, isolation and concerns over health and finance could aggravate an abuser's desire to exert power and control. Director of Women's Center for Change said that domestic violence was on the rise during the pandemic due to mounting economic, social and psychological pressure among family and community.
Mental health is very important at every stage of life, from childhood, adolescence, and also adulthood. According to the medical news today, people from all over the world have been reported increased level of stress, depression, anxiety, substance abuse, and also sleeping disorder. Of us felt these symptoms because of the new realities of working from home, study online, temporary unemployment, no social activities, less physical contact among the family members and friends, and also lost sense of freedom. First, you can make a daily routine where you have to ensure you follow this routine every single of your day, and then try to keep your healthy life where have some exercise at least twice a week. And don't forget to try some new hobbies such as cooking, painting, or any other thing. And last but not least, have a sleeping routine where this will help to reduce your sleeping disorder.
Malaysian Prime Minister announced a plan named the Conditional Movement Control Order (CMCO) or PKPB in Malay. A relaxation of regulations regarding the MCO, with its main goal was to reopen the national economy in a controlled manner. As the number of daily cases and active cases of Covid-19 reduced in Malaysia by mid-April, the government had relaxed several measures of the MCO. Due to these new restrictions, people now can go out anywhere they want with unlimited time. But there are some of new norms or SOP that must be followed in order to break the change of Covid-19 from spreading started from 4 May.
Malaysians' new normal are name registration and checking body temperature at every stores, social distancing, put on face masks when going out, no handshakes, only contactless greeting habits, and use hand sanitizer when there's no water around, but emphasize on washing hands rather than using hand sanitizer when there's enough water.